welcome to the Green Room live from Cannabis 2022. We're
What's
excited
good? What's good?
We're excited for our next conversation with a friend of the show, Erik from Blunt Talks.
What's good, gang?
Whoa, Derek, did you see that? He threw up some gang signs.
Blunt talk.
whoa.
It's tatted.
Okay.
Oh, it's his
Yeah,
Blunt
that's
Talks.
why. Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
yes,
cool.
yes.
So did you bring any blunts for the talk?
We can't smoke inside, I
Oh,
wish,
okay.
man. But honestly, when we do I want to do another interview, we have to smoke.
You have to come
And
to
I
our
wanted to
studio.
say that I wanted to say that, so I gotta say that first.
Yes, because our studio, we smoke in our studio. We
Yep.
smoke on our podcast. We
What?
smoke while we work. Our conference, we have conference room, we have kitchen, we have whatever, and it is a smoke-friendly place.
Okay, I'm
420
there.
It's 420 all day, every day.
I'm there. I
No
can't wait.
smoke, no work.
No,
Exactly.
that's
You know, I haven't
that
been
makes-
smoking. That's probably why we're a
me
little
too.
on
I
edge.
just said to
Jackie
you,
and
have
I
to,
are a little
man.
bit here on edge.
Take
You
a
know what I mean?
break,
Because we've
man.
just
I
been
feel
going
bad now.
pulled him
over
aside.
and
Do
over.
you want to see tomorrow? And I did a lap around to look for you, and I passed my husband. He goes, "You good?" I'm like, "No." I think it's because I haven't smoked in
Yeah,
4
that's what I think it
hours.
is. No pineapples, no smoking, Jackie.
It's
I know
okay.
my pineapples are back in the room.
It's okay. As soon as we get out of here, lighten up.
Lighten up. Exactly. So tell us what Blunt Talks is.
Mhm.
So, Blunt Talk, do you want the whole story or you want a
we want the whole
summarization?
story. I want the truth,
Okay,
Erik.
the truth. Okay, so a lot of people don't know, but I worked in the corporate cannabis world, and
Oh,
I actually
yeah.
worked for
I forgot
one
about
of,
this.
one of the biggest retailers in Canada. And what I
Mhm.
realized
Good
was
weed, best price.
what I
that.
realized was the corporate cannabis world is so far from the actual cannabis community.
Mhm.
And I also felt that to be transparent, I started to change and be more like the people who work on the corporate side. And I didn't like that, so eventually I
Jackie
just
doesn't
said,
like that either.
right.
Uh-uh.
So eventually I just
It
said,
makes me, I don't know. Yes, eventually you said.
I'm gonna just do my own thing. And Blunt Talk started as a cannabis review show, and then we've kind of just turned into an empire now. So we do content, we do events, we do clothing, and cannabis soon. So it's
And
going
he
great.
pulls up and the ladies just come flying out of nowhere.
You know the vibes. You know the vibes.
I'm familiar with the vibes.
Exactly.
Do you smoke blunts? Is that why it's Blunt Talks? Or
Yes.
just very blunt?
I'm almost a strictly blunt smoker.
With tobacco?
No, just the wrap. So the whole wrap, right? So basically, yeah, when I started, blunts is not even
You
a
don't
big
add
hip
anything
thing.
to it.
No, just cannabis in the blunt. But me, when I started smoking weed, I started smoking blunts. So that's been my cannabis experience. And with Blunt Talk, I've just carried that on. So I'm very loyal to the blunts. And I'm happy to say that I've contributed to blunts being a new kind of trend in the cannabis industry now. So I'm very happy about that.
What, like backwoods?
No, a lot of the legal brands are coming out with the blunts.
Okay.
Like the Benny Bluntos, Ghost
Oh.
Drop has a blunt, Black
So how
Market
can
has
they
a
really
blunt.
do that? So is it tobacco or it's not? It's hemp or something,
Yeah,
right?
so it's not tobacco.
Because
but
with a blunt, you need that little
You're right,
tobacco
you're
hit.
right,
You know what I'm
you're
saying? It's
right.
not the same. That's not a blunt.
you're right, you're right, you're right. But they try, and I will say the Loud Plug, the Benny Bluntos, the experience is similar, but nothing beats a real backwood blunt.
Hey, wait,
Yeah.
did you just say loud plug?
The Loud Plug, yes.
Oh, now I know who that is. See, because I talk to everyone on social media, but I don't know who's who and who.
Cyrus is my boy. I'll get him on here too. No, for sure. You need to get him
we
on
would
here.
love to talk
You
to
know,
him.
remember when we had the comedian on?
Yeah?
And he was saying that he does a comedian thing where it's all
Norm.
about blunts. Norm. Yeah, Norm.
Do you
I
know
know
him?
Norm, of
Okay.
course. Yes, I know Norm. And that's what I love about the cannabis industry. A lot of us like-minded people, we're connected, and that's why we're all
I
sitting here
love that
today.
we're talking about Norm, and you're like, I love Norm.
right?
Yeah, because he does something with blunts too, right?
Exactly. They have a blunt comedy show.
Right.
I don't want to get the name wrong, but it's something to do with blunts. It's a comedy show, and it's very good. So
Yeah, and
looking
you
forward
could
to that.
smoke while you're watching the comedy show.
Yep.
They give out where it is after so that, the feds don't rush in.
Yes, Norm. That's where I met you. I met you at a cannabis event, and we were smoking,
Right.
watching your comedy. So that was amazing.
Where did we meet?
Who?
Me and you? I don't know.
Honestly, through online, and luckily Jackie's probably the number one individual in the space. I'm not
Well, that's why she has the award. She's
exactly,
the champ.
Exactly. So
Champ.
I don't feel a way to say that, but I will say that I'm happy that she supported me, because I feel a lot of us influencers at the top, it's a competition, but I hope me and Jackie can kind of show that
Aw.
we can work together and we're stronger
Definitely.
together. You know what I mean? Because cannabis is a generous, loving plant. So like we can't like let all those negative vibes into it, you know? So.
Definitely. And I'm an expert in myself, but in being me, but you're a real expert in this. I watch the show, I listen to you, and I pull information and things from you. I'm a sponge to your stuff too.
Thank you.
You are influencing me in the space. Like you're inspiring me. So when people say, "Oh, what do you look at?" or "What do you?" I found you. You know what I mean? I was like, this is what I'm engaging with, and this is what's interesting to me. I think Blend Talk is a great show. First of all, I'm like, is this a clothing brand? What's going on? And then I followed and watched. I'm like, okay. And then I started clicking on some of the ladies that are with you. I'm like, these content creators have massive followings as well.
Exactly.
Like, he's not playing.
Exactly. That's why.
There's no hanger of honors. You're all freaking stars.
I'm calling out names. If you guys go on my Instagram, blunttalk.ca, you'll see a picture, and it is Jackie, me, Cannabinista, Blunt Bay, and like that was a very iconic picture because I feel like that was like four of the biggest spaces, you know. So
actually that was a great picture, and it was sort of like industry, community, and culture, and really fancy, all put together. I'm not meaning me, someone else there, and really put together that picture, like that group of people. It was really cool. It was sort of like all corners of the industry right in that picture.
Strength in numbers for sure, and that's why I'm happy to. I'll be speaking at the Cannabis Wiki Expo, so I'm very excited for that.
I was waiting for you to say that.
And that will be my first speaking experience. And like, I don't want to be like, maybe like cocky, but like, I don't like to speak on a lot of platforms unless I fully support you. And this is the first platform I'll be speaking on, so I'm very happy to support Cannabis Week, and I'm very happy to be here today.
Thank you, Eric. We appreciate that, and we're looking forward to that too. Don't ask Eric how his first talk was today, because he's giving it a 7 out of 10.
Really? No.
Hey, you know, you got to have room for improvement. It's like, you know what I mean?
He was good.
You want to be the best, so you gotta.
So Jackie told him he wasn't the best. I was like, you were a 7. So now he's gonna
Thanks,
go.
Jackie.
He signed up for all these courses and classes. Next week he's gonna be 11.
Okay, so I gotta be the 7 at the expo then.
Yes.
Okay.
So start polishing up on your talk. What are you speaking about?
I will do Confessions of a Bud Tender. And I think that is an amazing topic because, like I said, I worked in the corporate world. I worked for the biggest retailer in Canada. And I'll say it here, like a bud tending job is probably not one of the best jobs in cannabis, and it should be one of the best jobs because we don't have anything in the cannabis industry without the bud tender. So
they're the real influencers in this industry.
Exactly.
They're the point of sale. Why wouldn't you want to treat these people golden and let them and give them the power of knowledge here?
Exactly.
That's how you're gonna sell. Like I think CanSell set you up to make sure you're safe, but this didn't teach you how to sell or how to do even anything more than that, like how to engage with the community and engage with the people once they've walked into that dispensary. CanSell's missed the point there, right? Like be safe.
I don't know if they serve that, like if that's their...
They're changing, aren't they?
Yes. You had you had Cannabis Lily here.
Canna Lily. Yep.
Canna Lily, she's the new head of education there. So that'd be amazing where we need people, I will say real cannabis people like us in the space at the top, pushing boundaries and making changes, you know? So that's very exciting to hear.
Exactly, like the whole CanSell is being sort of overhauled and a whole big new, and they have whole new stuff coming out, and that's exactly Canna Lily Consulting. Tamara, her name's Tamara. She did say that the platform is changing and the education is changing and again, listening to the market, listening to the industry, which we've heard on a couple of our interviews today, that there are people that are finally listening after 4 years.
Honestly, what I've realized is, like I said, when cannabis got legalized, like we know the government took it over, we'll say like the corporate organization took it over, and they kind of turned it into something that we don't want it to be today. So I'm kind of happy with the industry, with culture pushers like Cannabis Wiki and Blunt Talk. We're kind of showing that you can still be true to the culture in cannabis and be successful. So I feel like a lot of these organizations, they're kind of circling back now, and they're kind of realizing, hey, we need to be more true to the culture. We need to be more authentic, and we'll be more successful in that sense. So
definitely. You're more than a podcast and a pop-up. What are you? What else?
A brand, a lifestyle brand.
Myself?
Yeah.
Like I'm a brand. Like people like to say, what is Blunt Talk? I just like to say it's a brand. It's a cannabis brand. Like I'll say, look at Cookies. Cookies touches every aspect of the cannabis industry, and I feel like I want to do that as well. You know what I mean? Because especially in Canada, there's a big opportunity.
Everywhere.
Yeah, like I live this. Like I live this. And I feel like that's why a lot of people can relate to me, because also like they've seen my journey. People have seen Erik working in a cannabis store, writing articles, to now having probably the biggest brand in cannabis that doesn't sell cannabis yet. So
Yet. Hear
Nice.
that? Yet. You've always got to listen to that end one.
yes. I got to come for Cyrus and a loud plug soon.
Oh, hello.
Yes, we were just speaking about Cyrus. So there he is. I told you.
Oh, this is
manifestation.
Is this the loud plug?
Manifestation, Jackie. You see that?
Can
Manifestation.
you fucking manifest some money?
That's next.
And I like there's a new car called a Wagoneer. It's like a big old man car. It's a remake of the Wagoneer. I want that. I'd like a Wagoneer and I'd like some nachos.
Okay.
Is that what you're manifesting me?
When I get rich, that's first for you, Jackie.
Well,
that's first on the list.
Because that's a for sure happening.
Oh, that's for sure happening.
And
Like I'm, like we say in manifestation, like I knew I would. Again, I don't want to be boasty, but like I knew I would be where I am in the cannabis space probably like 4 years ago, and that's I'm here today because even when I was working at Gucci, I was working at one of the biggest fashion brands in the world, and when I left,
You are Gucci.
people said I was stupid. You know what I mean? So I'm very happy that now, 4 years later, I have one of the biggest brands. I'm kind of living the cannabis dream. So very happy for that.
I like that. I like that you. And you know what? You give respect. You give props.
I'm all
I know
about
you
love.
second guess, or you sort of take it back whenever you start to toot your own horn or you say boastful. It's not a bad thing to be proud of where you come from and what you've done. It's not a proud thing to or a bad thing to have worked really hard to be somewhere and be aware of it.
You're totally right, Jackie. But like we've spoken in the past, a lot of people on the outside they don't take that nicely, sadly.
But that's a hater has put that out in the industry, and a hater has planted that seed. Well, I'm a lover planting the seed that you toot your horn all you freaking want. You deserve it, and you've worked really, really hard to be here. I know Cannabis Wiki, like people say how humble or whatever, and they're not sure what we offer. Well, it's because we don't toot our own horn. We've been conditioned not to toot our own horns very much, right? The haters, social media, the way the world works now, you don't actually celebrate your wins, man. You're doing great.
And that's I'm happy every time we speak that we have these conversations. I always feel better. You know what I mean?
We're doing great. So that doesn't mean you're not doing great. We're doing great together. We're doing some good things in this industry. And our conference in June in London, Ontario, Southern Ontario, we are going to change. I think within the week of that conference, there's some real changes and some real conversations that things are going to be different when they see what we've put together and what we're offering, and when they hear the conversations and what people are asking for. Because I'm hearing people are listening. Well, there's a lot to listen come June 15th and 16th.
And the fact you guys even put that together is such a step and accomplishment in the industry because we have to have it. You know what I mean? Like
that was Derek listening for 4 years saying, we should do a conference. We should do a conference. Okay, I think now we should do a conference. All right, I'm ready to do a conference. So 4 years later with the COVID and everything else, now we put together a conference. He's like, we can do this.
So everybody watching this, we're telling you here, you just have to do it and you can make your own table and you can make your own events in that sense. Cannabis Wiki, no disrespect, we go to a lot of these expos and we don't have the best time. So you see that opportunity, let's make an amazing expo. I went to a lot of these cannabis events. I couldn't smoke cannabis inside. Everybody knows when you come to a Blunt Talk event, it's hot box 10 minutes in. So if you're not a real smoker, you will leave on your own. You don't even got to get kicked out. Like,
you don't even got to be kicked
Contact
out.
It's happened. Like, it's amazing. Like my friends who are not big smokers, they will come to a Blunt Talk event and be like, hey man, after half an hour, like I don't feel bad because I know that like if you can't smoke, your lungs are filled in there. So
nice.
Thank you.
When is the next Blunt Talk event?
Yeah.
Where can people find you? Where can they get the gear, the clothing? Let them know.
So we're hitting time, but hopefully we can do a Blunt Talk event at the Cannabis Wiki Expo. Let's hope for that. You can find me I'm mostly active on Instagram, blunttalk.ca. And if you want any of the amazing merch, best merch in cannabis, you can go to blunttalk.ca for sure.
Nice.
Blunttalk.ca. Eric from Blunt Talk.
Blunt Talk. And I have one question for Cannabis Wiki because I got to ask questions too.
Sure.
So besides the expo, what is the next industry-changing move Cannabis Wiki is doing? Because I want to know early.
What is the next industry change? What are we doing? He wants to know. He's interviewing us, Derek.
Yeah.
This
So
would
I'm
be a
thinking,
question for
okay, obviously the conference, and then for the industry, I
Yeah.
think maybe just taking the green room on the road to, nationwide and then worldwide, where we can tell more stories of people like yourself who are out there, and the mainstream media, they're not paying attention to it. They paint a broad stroke, and we like to really tell the story of the individual, where people can find them, what they have to offer, and their journey, because the journey is part of it. And so yeah, that's what we love to do. And we like to make a family and a community. We're not trying to hate on people, or we'll tell the story of anybody who's genuine and in the industry.
Like we've been listening as well the last few months especially, and we keep hearing the heart and soul, and the community needs is suffering a little, and there needs some more, and that's something that has always been part of Cannabis Wiki, like the heart and soul and the culture of cannabis. That is very important to us, to keep it resuscitated and let it let it thrive. Like that's what we hope we're bringing, and I hope that we're doing different. I hope the conversations and the way things are after our conference are really, really different. And I think we're hearing diversity, inclusion, representation around much louder than we've ever heard it in the past, and that's a lovely start. But I hear things, I'd like to see some more things, and I think we're going to see all that coming June.
Speaking on the Cannabis Wiki Expo speakers, you guys are already doing that, because like I say, no disrespect, a lot of expos I don't want to see a lot of people speaking. Seeing your lineup, how diverse it is, people speaking for the first time, I want to see it.
I love hearing about all the speakers.
I'm very excited to hear that.
See how excited, everyone's so excited, and the hearing speakers, I think you're the third one today to say you're there. Cannabis Wiki's conference will be their first speaking on a panel that they felt so moved or so passionate about. They're like, I'm coming to London and I'm doing it. And they're bringing their team, or they're bringing their family. And I'm excited. Like, that's going to be great. I'm really excited to welcome you.
I'm excited for the
Thank you so much.
Blunt Talk after party.
Yes, let's do it. Oh, now, you know the vibes. You know a Blunt Talk event.
Yes.
You know it.
We're pulling up to a Blunt Talk party.
Okay, let's do it. It's done, guys. Look forward to it.
Hotbox the shit out of that. Thank you for joining us on the Green Room, Eric. That was
Thank
really
you, guys.
great.
It was a pleasure. Looking forward to the future.
From Cannabis, Derek, Jackie, Eric.
Gang.
Boom.